Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, non-gender conforming individuals, to yet another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We are chilling early in the morning with my brothers from other mothers. Mundell Robinson, how you doing, man?
What's good, man? I'm out here.
That's love. That's love. Marcus Farrell, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Ben Dixon? What's up, Mundell Robinson? It's nice to be with you.
Nothing much, man. And in the background, we got none other than DJ Exclusive on the 1 and 2s. He's bringing the music, letting us know what's going on and keeping the movement going. What good is a revolution if there can't be any dancing? Y'all saw Donald Trump get completely, totally banned. Is there a platform he isn't banned on? I'm not even sure at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you make an app in America right now, if you just create an app and you create your own app, Donald Trump's name is not allowed to appear in that app, or it won't be banned.
He's banned in perpetuity.
I think he's looking for his MySpace password.
Yo.
No, you got it because
I was just thinking,
see, that's that courtesy dance. Yeah, this that courtesy dance where we try to yield to each other and we end up stepping on each other. I'm gonna be quiet and let you talk, Marcus.
I just think that, like, I mean, from Apple trolling Trump by saying, okay, you know what? If you think you're going to run to Parler, then we'll buy Parler. Like that's the ultimate troll. I'll pay a couple $1 billion just to keep you from talking.
Yeah, and then did they buy it? But I know they took it off the marketplace, so you can't even get Parler anymore. So
yeah, I heard they were thinking about buying it though. Like,
oh man,
to stop
that's some
forever. Right.
That's some Tony Stark stuff. Iron Man 3 or 2, one of them. Just buy the whole building so you could destroy it. The president earned it though. I mean, last week he incited basically a white supremacist revolution, which is America anyway, but I digress. And he did so via Twitter, and it got to the point where they decided to finally take him down. Now, here's the thing, though. Why now? Because the damage is done. They let it go all the way to an attempted coup where 5 people got killed, and then Twitter and everyone else start taking them down. What are your thoughts in terms of timing? Like, do you feel like they're just covering their butts?
I feel like capitalism does what's best for them, right? And you take structured risk. I mean, I'm a businessman. I own a business, right? So if I know that, like, what did Lee Atwater say? You always go with the winner, right? You always pick the winning side, right? And it's very easy for capitalism to say, okay, you know what, you can't really do too much to us in the next 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. So it's not like they're being righteous. It's sort of like putting up a Black Lives Matter sign and during a protest to keep your building from being or keep your business from being protested, right? It has nothing to do with the White House being the Capitol being, trying to be overthrown, right? It literally has to do with, okay, so as soon as a certain amount of white folks say this is a bad look, then it's a bad look, right? Even though black folks have been saying, hey, this is a bad look. Trump has been a bad look for a very long time.
Right.
That's what I think.
Nah, exactly right. I mean, I think that's the only way to look at it. Mundell, what are your thoughts in terms of timing and in terms of these corporations just covering their butts? But also, like, do you have any reservations about tech companies being able to shut out somebody at that level? What are your thoughts? Oh, I'm sorry, brother. You on mute.
This is why, I mean, this is not the new. Facebook has been policing black activists. This is why black activists go to jail, Facebook jail, more than anybody else for comments we make. So, I mean, this is nothing new. I remember the first time Twitter put me in Twitter jail for telling Kanye he's a coon after he said slavery was a choice. I think, listen, this is what I believe. I believe if you incite a riot or if you incite a attempted coup of a government in this world, then you should be blocked. And we should also people should stop talking about First Amendment, because First Amendment does not cover hate speech or any criminal speak. So, and also I don't think Twitter's a public space. So people tend to think, they forget that this ain't no public space. I mean, listen, we are policed and over policed as a people. So the fact that Donald Trump is getting to experience that, I'm super happy about it. Here's what else I would say. I would also say that it's definitely to me it just looks self-preservation simply because there's tons of things Donald Trump have said and done that should have had him blocked, not just from Twitter but from every social media site. Period. If you think about what Donald Trump said about African nations, if you think about what he said about African and Caribbean nations, let me say that. Also, the lies he told about coronavirus and what it was and what it wasn't. All of these should have been grounds to get him banned because so many folk died. But when you start threatening white supremacist power structure, then everybody has to act. White people have to be outraged. I'm excited that Donald Trump is really going to go to jail, or the possibility is a real thing. So I'm super excited about that. And as an abolitionist, that's hard for me to say that I'm excited about anybody going to jail. But this person has been lawless as it pertains to black people for a long time, and it doesn't just date back to a presidency. We're talking about some of the stuff he did with when he first got housing. His first housing. His piece of property that he owned, he got sued for not allowing black people to stay there back in the 70s. And then consider what he did with the Central Park Five. What he did. So, I mean, what he said about black people in his business, what he told his floor manager at his casino, he don't want no black people handling his money. He didn't trust black people. And when Donald Trump would come to the casinos, they would move all the black people off the floor. So this to me is a culmination. Twitter blocking is not nearly enough what should be happening to Donald Trump as it pertains to life. The fact that he is president of the United States and guilty of all of these race crimes is indicative of the country and times that we're in. But the light is he has a black attorney in New York that's looking for his ass, and I'm excited about that.
He ain't gonna make it too far, bro. He's like, and then whatever happens to him, he ain't gonna be able to post it on social media because he's been blocked. So I mean, I do have some reservations about these companies having this much power, but at the same time, if they have this much power, they have the responsibility of protecting at least their audience. I mean, at least their constituents. Like I'm talking, like Twitter has a responsibility to the people who get hurt because of how their platform is used, especially when you're talking about somebody as high level as Donald Trump. There's still underlying questions that have to be answered as to like how much can they do? Like how free are they to do this to anyone else? We still have to debate that. But in the meantime, I feel like they had to do something about the president. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Ben, the synergy of the internet is too much truth on the internet. It's too much access to truth on the internet. This is not, and yes, there is some bad things that that Facebook does. I got banned off of Twitter for pointing out just some blatant honest truths for a little while also. But eventually, I think the internet is one of these beasts that organically grow, right? And when I mean organically grow, I mean you have 17-year-olds who can, access the internet with the truths that they heard. The internet is not necessarily mainstream media where you can, there's a certain thing that they want to put out there, a narrative that they want to put out there, and that's the narrative no matter what. There's a lot of pushback. So I got to give a shout out to Jack and Twitter and give a shout out to, because when Jack said, okay, first I'm going to start, this is a slow transgression. First, I'm going to say you guys are liars, right? Y'all are liars. Y'all are lying. Y'all are capping. Let me tell you why. This is the street. So they had the little title underneath it. And then they grew to, okay, you know what? You keep lying and we're going to take you down. And we'll take you down for a little while. And then they finally permanently banned him. So, misinformation is going to get called out online because there's too many official sources. If you could call Adrian Fontes, the former county attorney, the county recorder over in Arizona, and say, show me your evidence that your election was legal. And he says, here you go. Here's all Maricopa County's records. Look at it. If you find something, I'll fix it, or I was lying, right? And they have yet to do that. The truth is going to win out at the end of the day, especially with the advent of the internet. So, I mean, shout out to these tech companies right now for doing the right thing and making one good step towards white supremacy. Because there was a time there where I thought that they were going to completely allow white supremacists and white supremacy and toxic whiteness to reign supreme over the internet.
That's actually a really valid fear that you had there, right? Because for a minute they did. For a minute we were in the place where conservatives could cry about the mildest of, slap on the hand on social media, and they would cry as if it was the biggest affront to their First Amendment rights. And then what these social media companies did for years was to just let them get away with it, right? They were like, we didn't want to handle the Republicans or conservatives crying and whining and complaining. And so Jack himself, along with Mark Zuckerberg, they used to give a lot of privilege to conservative media sites. And I guess they're now saying that they ran the numbers. I think they did the data long enough to run the numbers, because if money was still on their side on this, I don't know that they would. I don't know that they would ban Donald Trump and some of these conservative movements if they didn't see a financial interest in banning them. I don't know. Or do y'all think that they actually just decided to do something good for a change?
I think it was going to affect their bottom line. I mean, Ben, don't you think that it's about the bottom line, right?
That's what I think.
Listen, companies got pushed back for atrocities that happened hundreds of years ago this last summer, right?
That's right.
And I don't think we're at the end of that portion right there. Corporate America knows what's about to happen. Corporate America knows that there's a certain level of atonement that Black folks are going to start calling out, because here's the thing. Black people won't let the president, the Joe Biden, get away with not helping them out this time. We all know what the narrative is, and the narrative is not white moderates from Ohio and Indiana and Iowa delivered the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's Black people. And believe it or not, there's no magical worldwide Negro whisperer anymore that's going to be like, Barack Obama's not going to be able to say, all right, Black people, like, y'all don't expect anything because Joe Biden's America's president, not your president. And not this time. That's not going to work twice. Folks are going to be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, sorry. What we're going to do is ask you to actually do something for our communities. And with that same level of sort of accountability, that also comes down to the internet companies also. I mean, we don't want to start seeing studies about how many Black folks were, banned for saying I'm Black on Twitter and Facebook, in comparison to how many white supremacists said, let's go to the Capitol and let's burn it down.
Right. There's so much level. There's so much. They have so much space to get away with even a coup, right? And something that would have got us killed. White conservatives in this country, white supremacists in general in this country, are given so much room to march all the way up to threaten the United States government. And we can't even say I'm Black and I'm proud without getting somebody looking at us to shut us down, put us on a Twitter timeout. I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but it's not too far from the truth. What do you think, Mondale?
I don't know why you think that type of being said in hyperbole. I don't know why you think you're being hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic.
I don't know why you think you're being hyperbolic. Listen. I don't know why you think you're being hyperbolic when you say that, because truly saying, I mean, I've seen white people get read and ask me, why is Black power okay, but white power not okay? It's a fact. It bothers them because Black power is different than white power. Black power suggests that we are not second-class citizen. We're not subpar humans, whereas white power suggests that everyone else is second class and they are worth killing whenever they feel. And killing does not just mean the physical death. It has something to do with the lack of resources provided by our government, the lack of resources provided by schools, institutions. I'm sorry, I just spazzed out about something I saw on the internet, so sorry about that. But yeah, man, so what I'm saying is, here's what I want to say. I don't think Twitter really was worried about their bottom line in this. I think that they were trying to get more people on Twitter. more subscribers. And that may be me being cynical or whatever, but I literally believe that these companies don't give a damn. It is too late in Donald Trump's administration to try to say you held Donald Trump accountable. Like this mass exodus by his cabinet members is absolutely disgusting to me. Donald Trump has been planting these seeds of death, and there are 5 deaths on his hand, coupled with the many deaths from COVID. Donald Trump has been planting these seeds since 2015 when he was running for president, when he said he could stand in on Fifth Ave and shoot somebody in the head and not lose any voters. So the idea that Donald Trump is newly disgusting enough to be blocked from Twitter is a disrespect to all of the other stuff that he's done since he's been president. I'm not just talking about the lies that he's told, the blatant lies. I'm talking about the cavalier way that he show up as president, not doing research, not reading, not caring, throwing our intelligence community. Then it hurts my soul to say our intelligence community, throwing the intelligence community under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like literally putting people's lives at jeopardy. I used to wear a uniform for this country, and he just threw those people under the bus, and no one blocked him, which also told me, especially when I saw the number of veterans involved in this coup d'etat, attempted coup d'etat this past week. When I saw the number of veterans involved, I was reminded more and more of one, how racist the military was. My time in the Marine Corps was extremely a racist incident, but also how their definition of patriotism has nothing to do with these buildings, these flags, and everything to do with white supremacy. If you don't believe me, look how easily they mesh with these people with these Nazi T-shirts on, with these Confederate flags, and also how they were walking around with zip ties in an attempt to hang the vice president, hang Nancy Pelosi, and others. So I'm telling you all right now, Donald Trump should have been banned, not just from social media, but from our way of life a long time ago. So Lindsey Graham's, while he said something that was true on the floor, he still is accountable for all of his coddling of Donald Trump's baby man for the past 4 years.
That's a fact. I mean, I think what they thought that they're going to do is get on the record at the very last second. And you pretty much said this, Marcus Mundell, that they're just getting on the record at the last second saying so that they could say that they stood up to Donald Trump. So that when the history of this present moment is recorded, the social media companies could look good when they spent the last 4 years cashing in on Donald Trump's ignorance. And now that they got all the cash they need, they're letting them go. What are your thoughts on that, Marcus?
Let me jump in here real quick and just say, shout out to Helena Duke. 18-year-old sister from where is she from? Can't really tell where she's from, but Helena was from a conservative family, and Helena is from what I understand, a part of the LGBTQIA community. And when we talk about authentically holding people accountable, check out what Helena did. Helena was kicked out of her house, or had a really rough time. And her parents left town. And for some strange reason, when her parents left town, her parents normally, keep their location tracking, share location on. But this time they turn it off. You know why? Because her parents decided to go up to Washington, D.C. and be a part of the Stop the Steal. Right? Well, our sister Helena went on Instagram and was like, "Mom, I thought you told me not to go to BLM protests because they were violent and they were a bunch of thugs. But is this you? The this you caption?" and then took
she
a
did not
screenshot of her own.
She disused her own mother.
Yeah, so she did disused her own mother, and and the tweet has since gone viral. I think I shared it. I don't know if Dwayne has it, but I think I shared it. And but shout out to Helena Duke. You are the champion. You can find her at what is this? Duke_Helena on Instagram. So shout out to that sister.
That's what's up. That's what these kids ain't having it, man. I'm telling you, like whatever we don't get fixed in our generation, the next generation coming to take names, man. Like they ain't having it. That said, there's a whole lot of other stuff.
Don't get it twisted though. Don't get it twisted though, Ben. Like we just can't say youth is the answer. You know what I'm saying? Because what we saw was as we saw white youth voting for Trump and believing that racism isn't real at the same race as their parents, or very little change. But the reason the youth ain't having it is because it's so many more darker, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the generations are darker now. So white people are dying more than they've been born, and that's not the case for black and brown folks. So
I'm not laughing at the fact that they, you know, I saw that study too. But you know, being evil kills you, man. Being a white supremacist will kill you if you ain't careful.
I mean, that is actually more relevant this week than ever. Being white supremacists will kill you. Let me tell you something. Think about this. A veteran, a Air Force veteran took her ass to the Capitol and tried to storm the Capitol. The Capitol Police had already pulled their guns, and the guy was like, they got guns. She thought she was superhuman and tried to climb through that window and got shot in the throat. Here's the problem. People said, don't talk about it so cavalier. She was also a few months back on her social media calling Breonna Taylor a thug. And that's why she got killed. That's the blindness of white supremacy. That same veteran was on the internet calling Breonna Taylor, who was asleep in her bed when she got shot by agents of the state.
Look,
she
man.
called her a thug. She called her a thug. That's the blindness of white supremacy. The thuggery of white supremacy. The hypocrisy of white supremacy. The whiteness of white supremacy. Fudge that.
Hey, bro, you know how much we come at police officers on this show. I'm gonna give another shout out. Shout out to Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman.
I saw that.
Yeah. And the reason why I want to give him a quick shout out is because he single-handedly managed to keep a mob away from our senators, right? By creating a diversion and getting the mob that was inside of the Capitol so upset with him that they actually followed him down the street, down the hallway, the opposite way, and led them away from
senators
where our sitting U.S. senators were at. Single-handedly, like not it wasn't 1,000 cops, it wasn't 5 cops, it was one man who led a so if you're gonna fund police, fund the only person that's in there working and doing their job, right? And for the most part, we can still for the most part we can still defund the police and give them and give the money to make that guy a trainer or something like that and actually do their job, because unfortunately the lawsuits that should happen, and at this point right now, is no longer conspiracy theory. Right. Capitol Police officers, and the study came out in the early 2000s about this, and I don't know why nobody believed them. The white supremacists have infiltrated these organizations, point blank. And we can act like white supremacy only hurts black people if y'all want to. No, white supremacy will murder and hurt white people just as fast as they will hurt black people in order to maintain status quo. You can see that by looking at the Capitol. You can see that by seeing how many different pictures and how many different conversations and how many things that happen to make Capitol Police allow people to come in willy-nilly. They weren't willing to put their lives on the line to fight the crowd. No, they were willing to actually throw our elected officials under the bus to protect white supremacy. Something to think about, America.
Something to think about. The fact that
can I just say that? Sorry.
No, do you go? Yeah,
Marcus. Ben, it's tied to Marcus talking about the black cop in DC. Did you all see the study about how the white superiors left their black cops out there? They ran and left the black cops to fight against these, and there was a lot of racist violence against these black cops. So I'm trying to find a report, but I read it over the weekend how black cops were left out there by their white superiors to fight in instances just like what happened to Eugene out there. So it's funny to me that a man who fits a demographic of the people who are most likely to be killed by police officers out there in a police uniform, defending against the entirety of white supremacy running at the government, the seat of America government, which is absolutely crazy to me. So, yeah, that part.
Black folks still, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say something, but I don't want us to look at it. I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying it as if it's a good thing. But black folks keep saving this country, keep putting their lives on the line to save this country. That police officer you mentioned, Marcus and Mundell, like that brother put his life on the line for this country, right? The organizers in Georgia put their lives on the line, literally out in COVID for this country, twice, right? And I'm tired of being this country's hero. Y'all need to let us lead because y'all messing stuff up.
Ben, can I add on to what you just said?
Yeah,
it didn't just start in this year or in World War II or in the Civil War. The first act of rebellion in America came from a black man. In my Cornell West
Party.
Crispus was the first person to die.
Crispus was the first person to die for this country's freedom. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're enslaved. His people are enslaved. Yeah, I know it takes us a long time to flesh some of this stuff out, but that's how deep it is, right? Like, and when we tell you, and when we tell you, when we warn you, when we say, listen, if you want to pull out all of the evilness of America, if you want to like root out capitalism in the worst way, because I know a lot of folks are like, we got to focus on capitalism. If you want to root out capitalism in one of the worst ways, then you need to just point out racism. Mm-hmm. Point it out because most of the time when you're dealing with a racist system of any type, whether it's policing, whether it's banking, whether it's sports, it's always an economic injustice that happens along with it, right? Mm-hmm. And it's vice versa also, right? Racism is the number one tool to implement capitalism in America. Mm. You think I'm lying? Look at all the events that have happened in the past 4 years. The NFL went from hating Colin Kaepernick to making us think, damn, Colin Kaepernick, at least he didn't storm the Capitol.
Period.
Don't forget they made money off of him.
Right.
After they kicked him out of the NFL, they made money off his stance. Mm-hmm. The NFL trying to look like they were righteous, and they are righteous, and they literally made money off of what they kicked that man's ended his career for. The NBA as well, like the idea that you're playing in solidarity with BLM or the entire movement for Black people to be recognized as whole is BS. And just because you put on a bunch of T-shirts or put jerseys or put like statements on the back of jerseys that were not made by Black people, not made by Black or factories, that were not made by Black union members. No one buys into that. Like you saw an avenue to make money, and you jumped in when it was advantageous. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember the blowback that LeBron James got when he stood up against Tamir Rice's murdering when he was in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
they literally were saying that the police were threatening not to be security at the game, which is absolutely illegal. But I think people we have a short memory in this. We always say that people following politics in this country have a short memory. Politics end when election cycle's over. This entire country, because of the need to coddle whiteness, has a short memory. And it ain't just white people that behave this way. I'm gonna tell you something that happened. I put a post on Facebook. This seems unattached, but it's attached. I put a post on Facebook yesterday about all Black women that are involved in politics are not responsible for Georgia's victory. I said, and there were some dope ass sisters that was responsible partially for Georgia's victory, but that not all sisters are responsible for it, and sisters are not totally responsible for what happened in Georgia. There are tons of organizers that are responsible. The first response came from this white presenting Latinx sister who said, "Oh, is this your attempt to diminish Black women?" And I like when I pushed back on her on that, like to me when I pushed back on her first response was, "Oh, didn't you tell me that people see you as misogynoir or confuse you as that?" And I was like, first of all, I never told her that ever. And the conversation was in the context of me starting Black Male Voter Project, and I told her that people said the organization seemed misogynistic. And she didn't put that context in at all. And it was funny to me how she literally went there off of this is something that happened over a year ago, that conversation, and how she forgot that context only to prop up her whiteness, meaning when she got called out on the BS, the BS of fake. What do you call it, Marcus? When people fake applaud us or give us fake props only to divide us.
Capping.
So capping. We call her capping in the defense of white supremacy. This is how she showed us. This is how she responded. And what happened was the internet was not polite to her. And when I say the internet, I'm talking about mostly black women, because they saw what she was doing. It was that transparent. Plus, people know how I show up in the world. Like literally, that's probably been one of my busiest posts. And it was people, just black people in general, showing up like, nah, sis, that ain't what's about to happen over here. Like you got called out. Not to mention this Latinx sister has a problem with how she show up in black spaces. I've seen her get called out several times over this past COVID cycle for the same behavior. Shoot. This is the same thing that's going on in our government right now, or with our government, meaning white supremacy is being called out even when it ain't white people carrying it out. Let me give you an example of this. MSNBC and CNN is trying to force James Clyburn as the voice of black people. And what I mean by that is James Clyburn has done more TV in the past 2-3 months than he's ever done. I've seen that man on TV more now than ever. And it's because they can't understand what's going on in the black community, and they're not brave enough to bring some of those activists on TV because they can't get them to use those talking points or stay within the lines of the Democratic Party. And when I say they, I'm not talking about the news structures per se. I'm talking about the party. The party will not allow MSNBC so much access if they start putting real black voices on the TV. They're not going to give them the same access to the party at CNN if they continue to put people that have something to say. This is why Jamal Bowman was bleeped out. And by bleeped out, I mean cut off.
Hey, Mondale, that's because you cannot serve Wall Street and black people at the same time. Point blank. There's no such thing as holding up corporate interests when corporate interests have damn near put all of their effort and energy into pillaging the black community's wealth, right? As soon as you start bringing on people who actually talk about real black issues, it's a syntax error for a lot of mainstream sources. They literally don't know how to respond to the black struggle and black pain in an organic fashion. Representative Clyburn, he's really good at making sure, trying to sell Nancy Pelosi policies, and not even just let me not even say Nancy Pelosi. He's really good at protecting some parts of whiteness and doubling down the pain of African American communities. And if you notice something, there's a lot of speaking at black folks, not speaking from black folks, right? The conversation that I got a fresh cut today. Conversation I had at the barbershop yesterday wasn't about how the Biden administration was going to do X, Y, and Z for black folks. The conversation was, okay, Trump needs to get impeached because if it was a black man, that would have happened. And I understand that's parroting some points, but we got to kind of keep it real about who our leaders are, right? So, Ben, your favorite congressman in the your favorite congressman, he doing it again.
Man, they roll that man out more than a Pokemon. Like, go black congressman, go. Just whatever they need done to keep us from getting what we need, they send Jim Clyburn out. And again, like, we got plenty of criticisms of him on this show. You can go all the way back to when I first realized I could do a pretty decent impersonation of him. We've been roasting him because he deserves to be roasted. You know what I mean? Just because... he's Jim Clyburn, but he gonna get the business on this show just like everybody else. Anyway, I digress. What else y'all watching, man? Before I go too deep on that, man.
Impeach the president. Impeach. Right. Listen. We have to impeach him, and actually, and because here's the thing: if we don't impeach him, that's our force to vote. Impeachment. Impeachment is our force to vote because it gives us this random opportunity to actually call out a lot of Republicans. If they don't vote for his impeachment after sedition, after a blatant act of sedition, right? Then we know exactly what they were about, right? They were in complete agreement with the president's actions and with his supporters' actions. FYI, all of you guys are Republicans, all of y'all. And so you can't distance yourself by like quitting the White House in the 24th hour, 23rd hour, 24th hour. You can't distance yourself by saying, "Oh, that was bad," and Trump needs to do this. That. No, Mike Pence is a Republican. Everybody, Marco Rubio is a Republican, and for the last 3.9 years, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They did exactly this. They supported the president and his actions. They called everybody who disagreed with the president liars. They said the media was lying at all times. They said that black people were and black folks and Antifa were destroying American streets. They were overblowing the conversation. They were calling anybody who wanted police reform radicals, right? Like reforming the police is radical. No, defunding the police is moderate, and abolishing the police is radical, right? That's where we are. But you are a Republican. Don't allow these people to separate themselves from their own party, right? Mm-hmm. We have to remember that every single race against a Republican as a Democrat has a talking point from now on. No matter who you are, if they claim the Republican Party, you say, if you're a city council member and you're running for city council against a Republican, you say you supported the party that tried to destroy our government.
Right.
If you were running for dog catcher, you say it. Go ahead, Mondale. I'm sorry.
No, Marcus. When you were talking, damn it, I just thought about something. America is a banana republic.
Yeah.
America is a banana republic, bro.
Yeah.
Think about what a banana republic is. Like, Marcus, you just define what America is. America is problematic, bro. America is so usually we know what a banana republic is. So they mean it about the Central American countries that can grow bananas or whatever. It's pejorative. But think about this. America has one export. It's whiteness. It's whiteness. And the other thing that's about banana republics that America is the stratified classes of people. Super, very, very few rich people with all the control of all of the resources. And then a very large, poor or impoverished population. My God, America is a banana republic. It is the banana republic. It is the banana republic of the Western Hemisphere, of the hemisphere.
Hey, Mondale, speaking of banana republic, ain't that a racist name for a clothing store?
I literally just, you know what? It is. But hell,
you know what I mean? Like there's a banana republic. I mean, you know what I mean? Like Gap and Banana Republic, like, you know, and they sell khaki pants.
They got the official wardrobe of Make America Great Again. Khaki pants.
Yo, they sell khaki pants.
They got to sell the red hats somewhere else. Bro, you got to go to Banana Republic to get the khaki pants, and then you got to go to China to get the Make America Great Again hats, because that's where they're made, right? So they outsource those, man. God damn it, Marcus, you a fool, bro.
I'm just saying.
I never even thought about that, but yeah, that is a racist clothing, a name for a clothing line. It's
in every mall.
Like get you a pair of those nigga pants. What?
Right.
See this new nigga shirt? Like what you just say, boss? Like what kind of shirt is that?
Oh man,
who
is that wait.
Hey, you peep my cool hoodie. You peep my cool hoodie today?
Bro, you got Jesus Christ. You got what's the most racist thing y'all ran into in America? It might be, besides white people in general, it'll be Plantation High School. There's a high school in Florida. My friends used to go to called Plantation. And I'm like, you know what?
That's the name of the city.
That's the name of that city.
Oh yeah. It's the name of the city. It's the name of the whole city. I'm thinking about the high school. It's the whole damn city. Plantation.
The whole city. I mean, when you go to places around the South, man. you see like Buckhead Plantation and I mean and Thomas around
what was that, Rick? what was that? Rick. What's that? Former Texas governor of Texas, Rick.
Oh, he had nigger head.
He had nigger head, boy. Rick Perry
it
with
was
the nigger head lodge.
Rick Perry had the nigger head lodge.
Bruh. I'm sorry. I mean, I just want to remind you that. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, like we gotta get rid of so much. And the irony of things, like in the South, is so blatant that we gotta do some constitutional stuff to rename some of this stuff. Y'all don't even understand it. Y'all don't feel me, right? Like Jeff Davis County, in
Jeff
Georgia.
Davis County.
Dog, there's a county called Jeff Davis County. We have to change the Georgia Constitution to change that.
Wait a minute.
Name.
I'm gonna mess with y'all. Let's bring it on home. Jefferson Davis Dinner. That's a problematic name in the Democratic Party dinner. Like they need to do something with that name. Or did they change it already?
Yeah, most states change it to the Clinton Obama dinner or the FDR.
Okay. Because I was
yeah, they changed. It
don't matter. They can't. It don't matter how they change the name. It's still a racist. FDR was racist. His new deal was a bad deal for black people. Clinton was racist.
So can we
was bad.
Can we rename the dinner to Red Line and Crime Bill dinner?
Now let's call it the Jeremiah Wright dinner. See what happens.
Oh,
or Fannie Lou Hamer.
That's the proper name.
Yeah,
That's what it should be called, because she created this new party. Because when she got seated, her and her delegation got seated, then all the white racists, well, not all the white racists, all those that were outwardly white racists left the Democratic Party and went to the Republican Party. Strom Thurmond, Ronald Reagan, all of those people forget that those people were Democrats until that moment. That's when they left and became Republicans, when they seated black folk. So yeah,
I knew there was a ship. I didn't know it was that ship was directly tied to Fannie Lou Hamer.
She said, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired."
Mm-hmm. And you mean to tell me that's when Ronald Reagan came out with that speech? I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party
left me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and I mean, even right now, today, right? Yesterday or the day before yesterday, the Florida Democratic Party, they chose their new chair of the Florida Democratic Party, and they chose Manny Diaz, former Miami mayor, as the chair of the Florida Democratic Party. And I'm back and forth on Manny. I'm back and forth on Manny in this moment, and this is why. Because Manny has done some initiatives for our communities of color in South Florida that were really good. But he also created the Miami model of policing. And if you don't know about what the Miami model of policing, all you got to do is look at Ferguson. All you have to do is look at what happened in all the cities where George Floyd protests in Oregon, and how police officers react to innocent crowds and how they didn't react to crowds in the Capitol. Right, that is called the Miami model of policing. Right, and Manny Diaz was basically responsible for that, and that takes me to a place where I think about. The Florida Democratic Party has never had an elected black chair.
Really?
Right. They've had.
It was supposed to be Dwight Bowman. They did him dirty.
It was supposed to be Dwight Bullard. Yeah, Dwight Bullard. They did him dirty. And I just think about, because everybody now, all of the South is looking for their Stacey Abrams. They want their own Stacey Abrams in each state, right? Not realizing that no matter how you feel about Stacey Abrams focused on black people.
Yeah.
Don't get it confused. Yeah. She focused on talking to black people. And I'm sorry, this might hurt you, Florida Democratic Party, but you're not going to turn moderate Republican Cubans into black people.
Oh, not at all.
Right?
No chance in hell. Shoot.
Right. So
Democratic Party don't want to.
They don't. You don't think
Marcus,
they want?
Let's be honest. If they did, they had a super progressive in Dwight Bullard who was doing everything right by the party. And guess what they did? Drew his district out. They split. Remember what they did to the 39th and created the 40th? Marcus, you know. Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
They got rid of Bullard's position intentionally by taking a district that was, safe and black and made it safe and Cuban. and which is a whole different party, bro. So what happened was intentional, and I feel some type of way about that. So I really haven't been the same about Florida politics since then, and also coupled with the 2018 cycle when we watched them basically set up a space where they can lose, even though they should never lose demographically.
Man, Florida's problematic, yo. I mean, it's more than just the classical meme of Florida, man. Florida has been problematic because the party and the rich folks in that state absolutely refuse to acknowledge blackness in the state of Florida. And I've given this example before, but when I was working on Alvin Brown's campaign in the primary, the Florida Democratic Party supported a moderate Republican over the black Democrat. I mean, this is not a me. Well, actually, I am sending shots at the Florida Democratic Party, and shout out to Judy Mount too. Shout out to Judy Mount also for being the black woman that is vice chair of the Florida Democratic Party right now. I like her work, and I think she's going to be one of the only things that save us. But you got to think about how many unengaged black voters there are in the state of Florida. From Orlando to Southside Tallahassee to Quincy, Florida, to Jacksonville, a city that a Democrat won before because they invested in black voters, to Tampa, to some parts of Miami. Florida has a small black population, but it could be galvanized at a high rate. And that state absolutely refuses to push resources to the black community. If it wasn't for Amendment 4 and the work that what's the brother's name? I'm sorry, Desmond Meade. It wasn't for that was literally one of the highest statewide pushes for black people that has ever been seen. And that was just that wasn't the party. That was IE. That was independent expenditure.
I created that organizing department, by the way.
Good job, Mondale.
Yeah. That's the Desmond Meade. Just to give people the heads up, Desmond Meade headed up the Amendment 4 process for returned citizens getting back their right to vote. Shout out to him. I had a chance to hear him speak here in Atlanta back before the pandemic, and they did some amazing work. Marcus, what you were saying that about Alvin Brown, the Florida Democratic Party selected a Republican or endorsed a Republican.
No. So let me clarify this. Mm-hmm. The Florida Democratic Party didn't support Alvin because they figured that a white moderate Republican is the only person that could win. So they stayed out of it. So a primary where there was one black Democrat, Clinton alumni, who worked in the Clinton administration. So you figured that would be beautiful for them. Right. They saw that there was no pathway to victory for a black mayor in Jacksonville. So what did we do in Jacksonville in the year of our Lord 2011? We knocked on every black door 3 times.
Yeah.
We knocked on every black door 3 times and we mailed them like 50 times. We we micro-targeted the black community and every single person in the black community. And we managed to match, if not go a little higher than Obama's turnout in 2008 to make Alvin Brown become the first black mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, a city that's really black.
Marcus, Jacksonville is one of the blackest cities in the country. Go ahead, bro.
It is, and also is one of the largest cities in the country. Marcus, let's be serious. I'm keeping it up. The Democratic Party didn't support Andrew Gillum in the primary. They supported that mediocre white woman. Literally, all of Andrew Gillum's money in the primary came from out of state resources. They were not supporting him. And Florida's table that normally support Democratic candidates is super rich. They were not supporting Andrew Gillum, bro. They were supporting the white woman. And let's just keep it a buck. She was not actually. Andrew Gillum was the most progressive candidate on the ballot in 2018, not excluding anybody. Period. Period.
I mean,
I got one better. Let me give you one better.
I had 5 or 6 governors that I was working with, gubernatorial candidates I was working with through my DFA work, and I know who the candidates were. And I'm telling you, Andrew Gillum was the most progressive candidate on the ballot in 2018 at the federal level or statewide level.
Bro, and this is a consistent theme. The reason I asked you to tee that up again, Marcus and Mundell, thank you for throwing that in there, because I remember all the way back in 2010 when Marco Rubio first ran for Senate, and there was Kendrick Meek running against him, and they went out and got the Democratic Party went out and got Charlie Crist, a Republican, to come in and run, and guess who won? They split the ticket, and Marco Rubio won. So they have not been trusting black people in Florida.
Charles Crist is a Republican?
He was originally. Yeah.
Is he
converted? You know that.
Is he independent? Is he a Democrat?
I don't even know. He's a Democrat now.
No, check this out now. He was the Republican governor of Florida, and he's now the Democratic congressman from.
Right, Emma has been everything, man.
But he jumped in just in time enough to scully the scuttle rather the opportunity for Kendrick Meade, which is a black man who had been in Congress.
Well, but I mean, you see this all the time. You see qualified black candidates all over the nation. I mean, including Stacey Abrams and the DNC. Let me tell you something. Y'all acting like y'all love her right now. But when I first got on that campaign, let me tell you something.
They wouldn't have found a Stacey Evans. They wouldn't have found Stacey Evans.
No, wait a minute. But we ain't done yet. We're not done yet. Every single state, every single party, like they will, if somebody black looks like they're about to do something, and progressives, y'all ain't immune to it. As a matter of fact, in the state of Georgia and the state of Florida for the DNC election, y'all decided to run the white progressives and y'all split up the vote down there, right? Every time that a black person runs for office, man or woman, every single time, and a power structure immediately tries to question our viability, right? Or can he raise money? Now, you could be a cute white person and run, and automatically you're considered viable. But black folks have to go through 3 or 4 steps. Like, how much money can you raise? Let's take an extra look at their background. What kind of car does he drive? How come you know what? That natural hair might not work for our donors, right? In the case of Stacey Abrams, right? There's so many things that we have to go through. And then y'all will go and find some mediocre white guy.
Come on, bring it home.
And run them. Now, Ossoff is the first mediocre white guy that won, but that's because Warnock carried
his ass over the finish line.
And I hope he does a good job, but we got to keep it 1,000. Like, even in that race, there was a black woman by the name of Maya Dillard Smith who we interviewed right here on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Maya raised $100,000 and got 10% of the vote. That means that she had more bang for the buck than anybody else who ran in that primary. Ossoff raised a whole bunch of money and he got his votes. Teresa and everyone else that ran, they got their votes. And I'm a fan of the people who ran and lost to. But here's the thing: the organic support wasn't there from national figures, right? And for whatever reason, black folks, she still managed to get 10% of the vote in the primary. That over $100 million
she was dope. Like, cause I mean, that's the whole thing. And I was going to head towards Maya Dillard Smith myself, but you see, everybody can see that connection, right? Where there's talented black folks, there's always going to be a mediocre white person. What's a sucralacum? What is that artificial sweetener version of it? And they have them lined up and they have the ability to raise money. And we go through this game over and over and over again, and we see how many times they lose. But if you trust black people, we've been saving y'all asses since the Boston Tea Party. Anyway.
Listen, there's this progressive conference called Netroots Nation.
Yep.
You guys might have heard of it. I've been going to Netroots Nation, I don't know how many years. I've been protesting Netroots Nations, I don't know how many years. When we were in Atlanta, this is a progressive conference. You're supposed to be progressive to get invited to speak there. But let me tell you how power white moderates are. White moderates get invited to speak at Netroots. But if you know my loud ass, we weren't having that. When Stacey Evans got in the race and tried to come to Netroots and speak,
were you in that group?
Her speak. Was I in that group?
The group that protested.
No. Mondale, let me answer it. Let me answer that. Was Mondale in the group?
I vaguely remember, but
no. The Atlanta Journal had a picture of Mondale holding up the sign.
Right in front of Stacey Evans is Betsy DeVos. That's what I said. I meant it.
I remember it now. Yes, it came back. I was in the room when y'all did that. I saw y'all go back there. It was yeah. I'm sorry. I just completely forgot.
Yeah, as soon as I walked out, like some white woman was all pissed off because they were screaming, "Let her speak!" White people. As soon as I walked out, some white woman got all pissed off and was like, "You guys are rude, blah blah blah." And I said, "Who you talking to?" Like blah blah blah. And then she ran outside, like, "Oh, he's being crazy. He's gonna attack me." And then somebody was like, "Who you talking about?" Bro. Look, she ran to one of the people from that room. She's like, "Who you talking about?" She's like, him."
Oh,
and was like,
wait a minute. I know who you're talking about. Finish that story, bro.
Yeah,
Finish
exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but literally take it all the way to the close.
No, it was just like, but for that other white woman, she was trying to tell that I was crazy and gonna attack her. You know, who knows what would happen because she tried to run to the police and they shut that down. Like, oh no, you wrong for that. And also, don't be throwing crazy around like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, y'all don't understand what it means. I'm on my snitch today because I done got text messages about a Facebook post about something I said, and also I don't really give a damn. Don't start me today. I'm trying to be on my Jesus. I'm trying to be on my nappy-headed Jesus today, y'all. It's Monday. Let's just chill. Let's just chill and go politics. Let's just talk politics.
Speaking of snitching, everybody. Hey, last week, if you know somebody that was in Washington D.C. Call the feds on them.
Tell on them.
Snitch.
Hey, did you see?
I don't care.
Did you see that?
Call the feds.
Marcus, did y'all see? Marcus, did y'all see that one guy? That one guy who was all over the with the zip ties, or whatever. His ex-wife called the FBI. She was like, "Oh, I know who that is. That's my ex-husband." And I was afraid he was gonna be there. She gave his name and everything. I was like, yo.
Yeah, the thing is, she's from Kennesaw.
Yo, tell on him.
Kennesaw, Georgia?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
straight from Kennesaw. All kind of weapons in the truck.
Shouldn't they have been at work? What they say about black people when we protest? Why would they at work? You know what I mean? Why would they comply? Where's the parents? They ass kid. Where's the
parents? Where's the parents? You know what I mean?
It's clear to me. I found out something on this over this past week about Donald Trump supporters. They all got teeth like Warren Williams.
Jesus Christ. Why you got to bring Warren? Because I guess it's a good callback. It is a good callback because we roasted the hell out of Warren Williams. You said all those Republican supporters, how they got all that money and don't take care of their teeth though? Because they got souped up trucks. They got like $90,000 trucks and they got $10 teeth. Like what they really doing?
It's giving these Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
you see how much money Donald Trump raised?
Nah, how much was it? I've been off.
Man, Donald Trump. We talking about how much money they spent in Georgia primary, which was like $800 million. In the primary, that's in 8 weeks. They spent $800 million. Donald Trump raised, almost half of that by himself, not even for a race. And he's just walking around with all that money. And I don't really think Donald Trump cared too much about Twitter right now. He does because he wants to talk, but. I mean, he's going to build a conspiracy empire bigger than anything Q got going on or Reddit. I'm telling you, just watch out.
They got the money and the infrastructure and the incentive. There will be a reaction to social media shutting out Donald Trump, and I think it's going to be Donald Trump building a big ass social media platform and including
he got to go to jail,
unchecked.
Man.
He got to go to
jail. He got to go to jail. Like somebody put a GPS on Air Force One, because I promise you on the 19th of this month, that thing will take off and we might not ever see him again.
Yep. Yep. I want him.
He still has enough. He still has enough time to do damage, right? Like do damage. Let me tell you something. The same guy who instigated all those white folks going up into the Capitol is the same guy who still has his hands on the nukes. I hate to scare y'all this Monday morning, but
man, we need to twerk something. You said it, done broke my spirit like that, man. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, hey, DJ exclusive. Let's twerk something.
I want to say
I was just setting it up for later, but we can do it now.
That quick. Dancing. Look at this guy dancing.
Hey, we got 1,300 people watching us live. Go ahead.
Can't stop. Sweet like sugar.
Shout out to everybody this morning. I hope y'all having a good time. Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I am your DJ exclusive. Make sure you follow me and hit me up. Mixcloud.com/DJX3C.
I ain't looking stupid on a late night, no. I used to get grounded, now
do Marcus's new dance. Coming soon.
Hey, do the Marcus. Do the Marcus.
What you think? Tuck it to the bank. Pulling rank, pouring drink, filling up the tank. Candy paint. What you think? Take it to the bank. Pulling rank, pouring drink, filling up the tank.
I love it.
Sweet like
I love it. Hey, Bubba, you got a gush.
I've been hitting fresh, now I need to roll it. Been dressing, been impressive.
Yeah, you just look like you're having a heart attack.
Little wrist just a fake, I can see. She put up in the top. That's a sequel. Hit it once again. That's a sequel. I don't want no friends. I want seek notes. I was pre-vote. Candy paint. What you think? Take it to the bank. Pulling rank, pouring drink, filling up the tank. Candy
Somebody
paint.
said your dancing is their medicine, boy.
Pulling rank, pouring drink, filling up the tank.
That's good stuff right there.
Boy, I got my dogs with me. Dogs with me. No, the money calling me. Calling me. No, the money calling me. Calling me. No, you wanna roll with me.
All right, check me out. You can find us in the A, but you can find me on Twitter at Benjamin P. Well, actually, no, don't follow me on Twitter no more because I ain't tweeting nothing on Twitter. So y'all can find me on this here morning show. That's where you can find me. Where can they find y'all, Marcus and Mundell?
Clickbaity, Political Thirst Trap.
That's it.
That's it. Marcus for America on Instagram, Twitter, and Marcus Farrell on Facebook, and also Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap on Patreon.
On Patreon. And Mundell, where can they find you at, brethren?
You can find me. I'm also in the A. Sometimes I might be in the B. No, I'm at Mundell. You can find me at Mundell Robinson everywhere. Also, you can find me at Black Male Voter Project, and I'm also at Clickbaity. Sometimes you get comments. If you guys are sending messages, and if they're immediately rude in the direct messages from Clickbaity, it's me. It's me. When you send me anything silly in the I'm telling you, in the Clickbaity inbox, automatically it's me, especially if it's a fast response, because I want to be real rude to all the dumb questions that come before Marcus or Ben get to offer something thoughtful and sensible.
Reasonable.
That ain't happening. I'm not reasonable. That's Mundell.
Hey, as a matter of fact,
on Instagram, everywhere.
Mundell, you get mad when we get reasonable.
Yeah,
that's the funny part about it. Hey, how can I get a Black Male Voter Project T-shirt? You're going to have to contact. How come you ain't hit us 5 years later? How come you ain't hit us 2 months ago?
Now you want a shirt and election over. You want a shirt and an election over. It's safe to wear the shirt now, huh? It's safe to wear the shirt.
Knack, patty
whack.
Give a dog a bone. One fish, two fish.
I'm about to message you.
Red fish, blue fish.
You gotta do the Hotep Kevin Hart. We gonna make that a thing. Can you do a Hotep Kevin Hart?
I gotta work on it because Kevin is an idiot.
All right, that's it. We got. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just talk about speaking of Kevin Hart? Can I just say how disgusting it is that you can have a whack comedy show like his last one and it still was a #1 watch thing on Netflix. I'm a Kevin Hart fan, but that thing was still #1, bro. That thing was whack.
What was the last one titled again? I forgot the name of it.
Don't laugh at all. I don't know what the hell the name it was because I didn't laugh once.
Yeah, it was something real crazy. It was just like you just put this out just for the hell of it.
It was like oh, you trying to be David Chappelle minus David Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard.
So he was trying to, because Dave Chappelle on that comedy thing, like he's a master, bro. He'll tell you exactly what he gonna make you laugh about at the beginning. Take you on a whole hour show and you forget about it, and then he come back to the top and remind you of what he did. Remember the one where he did about the I can't even say it on air because we'd have to do this in the after hour show about he punched her in the woo-ha or whatever. He did that show. I forgot which one it was, but he set that punchline up at the beginning. He told the whole audience, "This is what I'm gonna make you laugh at." He made them forget about it and came back an hour later, and the entire story tied together. I don't want to see Kevin Hart try that. You say he tried to do some of that. and it didn't work.
Yeah, it was called No F's to Give. That was the name of the title. And it was just whack. It was in his, it was so, you're trying to be Dave Chappelle. Like, Dave Chappelle was having these small intimate concerts at his crib in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
He even tried to do it in his basement. So I got my own stage. I'm like, bro, really? You that unoriginal? Like that not only did you try to mock my man's, setup, but you also try to like this No F's to Give is exactly what Dave Chappelle's been on his entire career, even when he walked away for 50 million. I can't see Kevin Hart ever walk away for 50 million. So much so that he did something that Dave Chappelle would never do. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you, when he was about to host the Oscars and he got drugged, he took a whole opposite turn against what he had said previously. That's not what David Chappelle would have done. So I mean, like this idea that you are No F's to Give is ridiculous, and also it spits in the face of folk who really don't have any F's to give, i.e. Richard Pryor, i.e. Dave Chappelle, i.e. George Carlin, and all the other comedians, i.e. Wanda Sykes. Folk who really tell the truth and don't care at what's going to happen, the backlash. You know what I'm saying? So,
that truth to get you in trouble. But Dave Chappelle said he don't care. He take the heat. I mean,
I'm gonna give props for props too. Yeah. I watched it too. That wasn't funny, but Kevin Hart has been funny in the past, right? He's had he's had some. I mean, he's had some quality work that what I mean. And I mean, I'm not here, and his body of work. I mean, I'm sorry, most Kevin Hart movies are funny to me. Most, right? He does hold down his face. Right. Yeah. But like that last one. And then also trying to bring it back like David Chappelle, that's hard for pastors to do. Right. Yeah. That's hard for pastors to do. And David is just a master at
callback,
that storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah. Storytelling in general, right? So, you can't do David. You know what I mean?
He can't do the Dave. He can do a lot.
Hey, y'all remember Gallagher?
Wait. Oh my God.
Gallagher?
Wait. Okay. Oh my God.
Do it. You got to put the whole tape. Knick-knack.
Okay, wait. One fish, blue fish. Red fish, two fish. Wait a minute. Not doing it.
Knick-knack. Right.
Okay. You want to take a sip? I take a sip.
Wait a minute. What are the other impersonations we got in the room? Because I know, Marcus, you do a good Bernie Sanders.
Bernie?
No, it's Bernie Clyburn. Remember?
It's Bernie
Clyburn. Bernie
Sanders. It's Bernie Sanders.
Marcus is Representative Senator Bernie Clyburn.
He's Representative Senator. Hey, Representative Senator Mister. That sounds like an old 1900s name. Representative Senator Mister.
That's if Harpo ran for Congress. That's what that sounds like.
Right. Yeah. The millionaires and the billionaires.
There it is. Bernie Clyburn.
Bernie Clyburn in the building.
Anyway, y'all get them likes up.
I like when Bernie do voodoo. Bernie be like Oprah Winfrey. I mean, he'd be like a Whoopi Goldberg off of Color Purple. He'd be like, "Go, man." Why Bernie always talking with his fingers, bro? Like, what is that about?
He does do that. He's using one finger. He just needs to do two. He wants the anointing. He got to use two fingers to actually make it work.
I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes.
No, here it is. Till you do right by the working class. Everything you touch.
Hey, Bernie been holding us down though, for real. But let me tell y'all something. I heard something on the internet. I need progressive white people to stop doing one thing. Y'all need to stop saying that Bernie Sanders had won the election for down here in Georgia. Right. That's I mean, and the way and their argument is because, white folks just got to be right about every single one of their assumptions at all times, no matter what. Right. Like, we're right because we said it, no matter if it's factual or not. The reason why a lot of these folks are saying it, and I'll say Crystal Ball said it, right? A couple of other progressives said it, is because the $2,000 stimulus fight that Bernie had happened right before the election. So,
come on.
Yeah. So they think that because And it's just white folks centering themselves, right? It's like, well, that was important to me because Bernie was doing it. So obviously all the black people had to do it because they're poor and they like $2,000. And that's what made them come. Okay, listen.
Oh,
y'all haven't done any. Yeah, I mean, y'all haven't done any organized. No, listen. It always comes from people who have no idea, right? Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from the senator, right? Senator did a good job, but that has absolutely nothing to do with how Georgia won. Matter of fact, on a list of 20 things, that's like 25.
Right.
And on top of that, I bet you the average black voter in Georgia don't know Bernie Sanders and don't care to know him.
Or they especially probably don't know that he even did that speech the night before because they already voted early. They already mailed
they
in.
voted early.
Right.
They don't want to hear that, though.
They did all their parts, but the nerve, man, the nerve of these cats to try to give that. And listen, like you said, Marcus, the caucasity, period. The caucasity. This was done by black folks twice. Y'all white, what's your boy name? John Ossoff. He barely made it if it wasn't for black folks literally carrying him across the finish line. Y'all get out of here. I like Bernie, but stop. That's a wrap. All right, fellas. Yeah. What else we got going on today?
I mean, it's 9:50. Are we about to get out of here?
Listen, man, hold on.
I was just getting ready to say.
We ain't running real quick, though. We got something to talk about. Y'all heard that you heard your boy snitched on Trump, right?
Who that?
Raffensperger down in Georgia.
Oh, no, I didn't. The audio.
Not the video. No. Trump called somebody else before he called him, one of the election investigators, and tried to get him to steal some votes for him. And apparently that call is worse than the hour-long rant against Raffensperger. So apparently there's another tape out there of Trump talking to another elected official or another government official in Georgia about stealing votes. So I'm super excited. I'm over here like a chunky kid waiting on new ice cream flavors.
You heard of that new.
Bro, is that your politically correct way of saying a fat kid eat cake? Is that's a politically correct way of saying that?
No, it's I didn't want to give Ice Cube. I didn't want to give Ice Cube any credit. And you know the par from next Friday when she was chasing what's name around the car. So I don't like talking about Ice Cube. Oh, by the way, Ice Cube, where you been, boy? Your boy Donald Trump let you down, didn't he? Your boy Donald Trump tripping on you.
Hey, listen. Marcus,
I ain't look at Marcus like, yeah. Marcus don't like that because he look like Ice Cube. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Marcus? I'm gonna be on your side on this one. We ain't arguing about that today.
No, we're having a good day.
We having a good day. I'm trying to
trigger me. You just said, hold on. We having a good day? That was a pun intended. Ice Cube made a song called Today Was a Good Day. I like that. Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, listen. What we gonna do? Hey, fellas, it's totally up to y'all. Like, we got it on the back end. We can keep the stream going. We are at 10 o'clock, and I know that's normally our time. We can let the DJ go, but before we do, I want y'all to, we can make that call together. What y'all want to do?
I'm going to go ahead and announce it. I'm gonna announce to everybody that this is the last Clickbaity Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap morning show. We still will be here. As the morning trap, but when it comes down to Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, we are not going to be. This won't be the format for Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap Squad and Squirrel Gang. But you can find us, and we will start announcing when we're going to have Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap again very, very, very soon. We have our own YouTube channel. You guys can check us out. It's at Political Thirst Trap at gmail.com. So if you want to look for Political Thirst Trap on YouTube and start catching some of our content there. But unfortunately,
let me explain, because I see the chat room. They're like, what? They going crazy. You got to explain, or I can. It's up to you.
No, I just wanted to point out. I wanted to make that clarification that Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap is no longer the morning show here.
Right.
But go ahead,
right,
Ben. You got it.
But Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap is always going to be on this channel, right? And we're just going to find the time. So it may end up being the morning trap and the Clickbaity Political Trap in the evening. There's always going to be a place. There's always going to be a space for black men to come and be black men. But the morning show, we're tweaking it a little bit more, and we're going to make it a space where everybody could come, including the 3 black men that are on your screen. They will still be with us every single. I'm talking to myself in the third person now. Apparently, we'll be here every single morning, still going forward. You said Trump. Hey, I low key. have come. Never mind. That's a self-explorer. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, I ain't too far off from Trump.
Somebody said, "Hey, Shan said, what the hell going on and why?" Curtis Wiley. Curtis. Hey, you know I stay in the chat. You know I stay in the chat. I'm on Facebook. Listen, let me. Can I throw the third point of view in? Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those of y'all who've been with Clickbaity since the inception, you all know that there have been some changes, from host changes to time slot changes. But one thing that's been consistent is the level of depth in which we offer the black man's point of view on political space. That's not going to change regardless of the time slot you catch us in or the YouTube channel you catch us on. So just bear with us as we figure this out, and also know that Clickbaity will never leave the Trap Squad out there without our loud ass point of view and also our accurate black male point of view. So please stick with us. Let us figure this out and don't go nowhere. Besides, if you go to MSNBC, you're going to get thirsty. If you go to CNN, you're going to get thirsty. If you go to Fox, you're going to get thirsty. So just wait on Clickbait and let us solve that thirst for you. All right?
And for everyone who's confused, everybody's like, oh, we're so confused. All you got to do is keep tuning in and you'll see it and you'll be a part of it. And it's going to be a smooth transition. So, so it's all good.
Somebody go ahead.
They'll be all right. They'll be all right. All right. That said, Mr. DJ, anybody who got the last word? Before we turn over to the DJ, who got the last word?
Yeah, yo. Keep us in your prayers, right? Follow us. Political Thirst Trap on YouTube. Follow us. We still on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, right? See Thirst Trap on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap on Facebook. We see you, Facebook family. We're not going to go anywhere. We will quickly inform you on what our whereabouts are and what time we're going to be back on. So please know that we love you and know that it's still going to be a dope show in the morning time. But we're going to take this and move somewhere else with it. So
yeah,
we're good.
Somebody said it's a peaceful transition of time slots in the chat room. That's all that's going on. And you're gonna have everybody the same faces in the morning time, so long as we all aren't, we didn't sleep in too late the night before. But anyway, I digress. What they do need is Marcus. Can you give David the link? A lot of people are trying to search for the Clickbaity page, particularly, and they can't find it. If you could toss David that link in Slack, he could put it in the chat room as a link for everybody to actually click on. And if you're watching this stream, I want you to click on that link and go and subscribe to the Clickbaity channel, because YouTube is a game best played as positive sum. There's literally no reason that 100,000 people who are watching us shouldn't be subscribed to 100,000 people over there at Clickbaity. So we're going to get that link in there before we go. In the meantime, while we do that, any other last words before we give it to the DJ? Because we're going to leave the room open for a few more minutes so the DJ can play. All right. All hearts and minds are clear. As my daddy used to say, Mr. DJ, it's in your hands.
Sir.
Let's do it, man. Let's get the people something to work to.
I got y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat room that joined us this morning. Hope y'all had a damn good time. I know I did. Shout out to Mondale, Marcus, and my brother Ben. Love y'all, fellas, man.
Love you too, man. Positive sum game, not zero sum. Positive sum. Thank you. Go ahead.
I just wanna be somewhere I won't lose my mind. But when I hit the mall, it's the same thing every time. Diamonds on my wrist shining like it's Christmas. I be on your wish list, know you wanna kiss this. Summertime, don't lie. If you're thirsty, it's okay. I hear it every day. Boys line up around the corner. Wait, for my lemonade. Wait, for my lemonade. That's my lemonade, make the boys say, that's my lemonade, make the boys say, that's my lemonade, make the boys say.
Shout out to everybody still rocking with us in the chat. I am the DJ, James Williams, better known as DJ Exclusive. Make sure you follow me down there, mixcloud.com/DJX3C. You can follow me on Facebook at DJ Exclusive, DJXXX, CLUSIVE. Make sure you follow me, hit me up, and also IG at DJX3C as well too. Lastly, if you feel so inclined to tip your DJ, you can hit me up on Cash App and Venmo at DJX3C. Again, DJX3C. It's your boy, DJ Exclusive, y'all.
Do it in the air, say do it for the dance suckers. Do it. 난 지금만은 깊이 쟁겨 너의 이제 보여 I 너의 감정 뻔뻔해져 네가 닫아두려 했던 closed door 셔터 제껴 진짜 너를 보여줘 Throw yourself in the air Tell me 숨들이 제일 쓸려가는 중에 내감이 너와 같이 휩쓸리길 원해 Nope, this ain't no wave Nope, this ain't no happy hour Let's surf around shit Nope, this ain't 어리 적에 잠깐 빠졌던 shit This ain't 잠시 머물렀다 떠났던 shit 난 돌아갈 곳이 없어 이건 real life shit 그냥 졸라 특이한 새끼에서 A-list shit This is hit the rock bottom then come back up shit 이런 나도 괜찮다면 레고 손 잡고 같이 가죠 No betrayal 심장 talk I think you let it for my real supporters All your wait is over 넌 최고가 어울려 잠깐만큼 누려 누가 top 5는 할 때 내 이름을 쏟아 지워가면 약해져서 이제 고개 들어 Yeah, bring it back for you 돌려줄게 give that God for you 대웅 위에 back as a right to the top for you 센스형의 사랑 나눠줄게 I got love for you 응원들을 떼야 나게 die for you
The sunset on the PCX is a little different The sunset on the PCX is a little different. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. Buying into the delusion, no one's fault but mine. Overdraft in the dream, thought I was out my mind. No nepotism here, these slave ties. Blood diamonds round my neck.
Shout out to everybody that's still out there rocking with us. Your boy DJ Exclusive on the ones too. Hope y'all enjoying some of this good old copy. Non-copyrighted music. Royalty free, all the good stuff.
Where the prayers came, sanctified, and we all are just entertainers. I doubled up on my major, then Kanye put out we major. They never did me no favors, flying standby for a savior. Been on this frequency since Sega, make this look like a layup. So pay ups the affirmation that I sing. Don't cry for me, clear as day, no rest until we're free. Just let that ring. Bring it back in right here. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. The sunset on the PCX is a little different. If I made time to give you
etched in my mind like filigree. Visions of a gritty street, living so my kid can eat. I'm chilling deep at the hideout, that's my vicinity. The phone rings, a voice says it's ready for delivery. The package, the message clear my head like antihistamines. Time to do my job, consider me the man of mystery, the secret agent. And you're the boss is known to be impatient.
Make sure you hit me up. IG DJ X3C, Facebook DJ XXXCLUSIVE. That's right, DJ Exclusive.
She can't settle. Hunger strong enough to smash metal, so I slide in the driver's seat and match the gas pedal. Blast off across the asphalt like NASA shuttles. Cars in front of me, I pass a couple. Then check the rear view to see who's creeping behind me. Eyes in all directions, I'm never stepping blindly.
He's a man, and he's taking it to the streets, just doing what he's able. In the game, to provide for his family and put food on the table. It's cold outside, but the package is hot. It's gotta make the pickup without no hiccup. They smooth and make it back to the spot.
Hey, yo, I'm never rushing. On time every time, no discussion. Moon shines down like it knows something. I hope it doesn't. I'm I'm at the pickup spot that got the best product. Package in the back of the restaurant, the chef's got it. I step inside, he approaches me slowly. No words needed, only a nod because the homie knows me. My cash is counted perfect, ready for the handoff. It go down slick as a magic trick, call me Gandalf. Now I'm back on the street, bag full of heat in the passenger seat. And I'm gnashing my teeth, I feel the hunger too, but I stay loyal. Gotta get the package back to the boss before her blood boils. It's covered in foil, wrapped up tight. The only thing to satisfy her appetite, she gotta have it right. My love for her is crazy, I'll make it back safely and watch her face light up because it's that tasty.
Coach, I love you, mama.
Shout out to mama that's out there watching.
Hard worker, curse you but won't hurt you. Respect the
DJ
good man
exclusive
will
Trap
get you a
Squad,
lot
political.
further. The things that my grandma would say after
Clickbaity,
church
political
service,
first trap.
things I repeat to this day, all worth it.
If you feel so
80s
inclined,
baby,
tip
that's
your
who
DJ,
raised
that's
me.
me,
Mama
your
had a
man, DJ
boyfriend,
exclusive.
but that was still my lady. And I could care less about the gifts
Rockin'
they
with y'all
gave
for a
me.
few
Put
more
your
minutes
hands
here.
on my mama, homie, I go crazy. Now that I'm older, I'm getting a little
Cash App
closer.
for Venmo.
Love only gets stronger. We
$sign
talking a
DJ
little
X3C.
longer. Was more than just a donor.
Make
My
sure you
sister,
follow me
brother,
as
and
well,
father,
too,
strongest
DJ
woman in my
X3C on
corner. I'm
Instagram.
talking about my mama, yeah. If it wasn't for her, then it would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my mommies represent. If it wasn't for
Shout out to all the mamas in the building.
then it would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my mommies represent. Always gonna care for me no matter what, she there for me. From tutoring to therapy, my mama had the answers, G. Magician with the ring, she made it happen magically. Leave my jacket at the park again and that's an ass beating. If she say no, then she mean no, she don't need a reason. I always had the latest kicks during tax season. Set up the fair one with the bully, that's my old lady. Same woman front row yelling rap baby. They want support and looking just like my daughter. Shout out to grandma, she done raised a good father. When shit was getting tougher, she told me to pray harder. And if she hit the number, she would give me every dollar. Thanks, mama. If it wasn't for her, then it would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my mommies represent. If it wasn't for her, then it would not be me. I got nothing but love for all my mommies represent. No matter what,
Hey, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left.
Gotta make sure y'all get y'all morning started good.
Come on, come on. Hey, slide to the left.
It's your boy DJ Exclusive. Shout out to the Trap Squad, Squirrel Gang, Dragon Squad, everybody that's in the building watching right now.
Come on, come on, come on. Hey, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, my hand is wrapped around your waist. I love the way that you be twirling to the bass. Moving sideways on the Friday. DJ playing all of your favorites. I'm digging your flavor, yeah, yeah. Cause your vibe. Let this be real inside. Hey, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on. Hey, slide to the left, slide to the right. Rock with me, baby, we can do this all night. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Come on, come on, come on.
Check it out, one roll like that, soon gon' find. Eye for an eye,
Shout out to everybody in the building.
roll like that, soon gon'
Y'all about to let me talk over here. I'm jamming too much.
Tit for tat. You can't defuse a bomb with the baseball bat. Tit for tat, tit for tat. Conflict resolution doesn't look like that. Tit for tat, tit for tat. What's going on? Why you acting like that? Tit for tat, tit for tat. All the little babies playing tit for tat. Tit for tat, tit for tat. Can't even catch a nap with the baseball bat. Tit for tat, tit for tat. Conflict resolution doesn't look like that. Tit for tat, tit for tat. What's going on? Why you acting so wild? Tit for tat. Shorty's playing tit for tat. Tit for tat, yo, historical fact, bro. It's how the caveman got his skull cracked. Couldn't compromise, didn't know how to act, so we just started swinging this caveman axe. Let's not return to that Stone Age crap. Grown ass men don't act like that. Hey, 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 ho, 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 ho. Cliches and tropes have got to go. We don't need another white muscle bound hero. Not saying much, always coming to blows. Been there, done that. It's just so. Not much for the mind, even less for the soul. And if I had my hand on that remote control, I'm gonna switch that channel with the quickness, yo. Real communication's all about the flow. De-escalating, not coming to blows.
I gotta let it go, let it out. Get it off my mind right now, right now. Put it in the song, I don't wanna talk back. Try to stop me, but I'm getting everything now. Woo, I gotta let it go, let it out. Get it off my mind right now, right now. Put it in the song, I don't wanna
Clickbaity political thirst trap. Here to get y'all morning started.
Yo, I'm stepping on your head, stepping on your toes.
Make sure that you having a good day and get it started good. Y'all make sure y'all be safe, be careful out there. Boy, DJ exclusive. Shout out to everybody still in the building that's joining us this evening. Should I say this morning?
No, better catch up, you slow. Mustard yellow, ooh, no. If you see me when you see me, better act like you know. Never gonna stop me. I am just doing my thing. Yeah, this is my lane. I can hear nothing you saying. I am walking with the one that got my whole life. Even at my lowest, you can't touch me. I'm too high, high, high. By haters, see you now and later. Candy popping, candy crushing. Why you crushing? Still leading, gotta go with the flow. It ain't me. We was streaming, catch that dream in your palm. Why you dreaming? Still leaving. Woo! Cause I gotta walk this walk alone. Can't be playing with the throne. You can get your dreams and go. And I manifesting everything. I hope you were listening. I will not say this again. Cause I gotta go. Had to let you know. Had to get it out. I release it right now. Woo! I gotta let it go, let it out. Get it off my mind right now, right now. Put it in the song, I don't wanna talk back. Try to stop me, but I'm getting everything now. Woo! I gotta let it go, let it out. Get it off my mind right now, right now. Put it in the song, I don't wanna talk back. Try to stop me, but I'm getting everything now. Whoa! I do what I want. I am on the journey, wait for your home. Walk by yourself. Never gonna say it, I know what it really is. You can try to play it, get it. So I'm gonna bounce, wishing that you had a piece or an ounce.
Right by my side. Right by my side. Right by my side. They say to raise a kid, it take a village. That's the way it's been and the way it still is. It don't matter if you're broke or making millions. You need the real ones, the folks never fucking feelings. It's obvious now, the proud to south. We gotta give out and about to be the top of the pile. For the king of the hill, that crown gets so heavy. It's lonely at the top and hard to hold steady. Power hungry fantasies cause insanity. It's family that gives you power like Stan Lee. Not a cow but a stampede, understand me? Cause when your head's in the clouds and you can't see, that's when you fall for that old trick, divide and conquer. But multiply with that many times stronger. I got a team so my dream's gonna last longer. And I don't fall for the schemes from fast talkers. If you wanna go fast, walk by yourself. If you wanna go far, walk with someone else. Right by my side. Right by my side.
Shout out to everybody still in the building with us. Trap Squad, Squirrel Gang, Dragon Squad. I see y'all.
It's in cycles, circles like vinyl.
Thank y'all for
First
rocking
to the
with
final.
me.
Staying tribal always works for survival. So I don't stifle that urge cause it's primal. Human beings don't work alone. Take you and me. Add 2 or 3 more. Now you got community. Add 4 or 5. The tribe grows beautifully. The song of unity I sing along fluently. Different strokes for different folks. But when we roll different roads it gets difficult. When we band together and stand together, we can make a city-state or planet better. Mental syndromes that break us down by 10 towns should have been gone. And in the past like Flintstones we sing songs to wake you up like ringtones. Or one tribe and unified we're strong like King Kong. If you wanna go,
Can't do it like that. Can't do it like that, baby.
Tip your DJ if you feel so inclined. DJ X3C on Cash App. and DJ X3C on Venmo.
I was looking for a girl that was
also on PayPal, DJ Exclusive at gmail.com. Shout out to everybody, man. And big up to everybody that's been sending me comments, man. I really appreciate the love. Y'all make this so, man. I appreciate it.
Stroke of this brush, we painting on the picture until she busted out.
Got some big things coming up, so y'all stay tuned.
Can't do it like that. Can't do it like that, baby. Can't do it like that. Can't do it like that, baby.
And now I'm looking at you like you were my closest cousin, and I really can't picture trying to be your husband. So I got a jet, try to catch a destination. Or better yet, I need a doc for an operation. Get me out of here, I need a drink pronto. Catch a horse like the wind, call me Tonto. Hide away in the safe of a grotto. If this is a taste of my luck, I'm not playing the lotto.
Can't do it like that. Can't do it like that, baby. Can't do it like that. Can't do it like that, baby.
Cause I wanna think back to the old times.
It's your boy DJ Exclusive. We gonna take it up 1 minute, y'all. Give you some high energy to make sure you got the blood pumping, thoughts getting in. And if you see somebody in your way, just tell them to get the F out the way, okay? Get the out the way.
Get out the way.
Fear of God is the mark of the beast, like it's chalk in the street, black hoodie like the dark side. Better know it ain't sweet, like your mask on, speakers on 10 when I'm riding through the north side. Outside with a wrist, take a speed, better listen to me, get the running like the far side. Sheesh, know it's hard, but I make it look easy. All black 750 my Yeezy, and we came up bumping that Jesus, with the bread stacked up like keeper. Hope your mama still praying like Jesus. Don't ask, just know I got reason. Don't crash with down south demon. Know I've been scheming, sheesh.
Way too legit, never been one to forget. Ever since I was a jit, she threw a fit. I didn't care like one bit. I wasn't built to be switched. Lo and behold, I came right back with the glow. I came right back with the whoa. Make you decide, bitch, you gon' lay or you ride. On the fence, you won't survive.
All night, back with it. Real ones gotta make a living. If you ain't on that, you can split. Oh, click like, let's get it. I play all night with the gold. I slam dunk on the hoes. I stand all night 10 toes. I stand on 10 toes. All night, all day.
Shout out to everybody that's still in the building with the Clickbaity political thirst trap. I just be in my own little world, Jim, y'all. I swear I do. It's your boy DJ Exclusive.
I can do this every day.
Yeah.
It's every day the business. I can do this every day. It's every day.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building, Trap Gang, Trap Squad, Squirrel Gang, Dragon Gang. Shout out to everybody, man.
We can get into it right quick. My neck,
Appreciate
my
all
wrist,
the
my
love.
whip go crazy. Down south kid, don't fix your list. Don't talk
Make sure
too
that
much.
you
Don't
follow
speak on my
me.
name.
IG DJ X3C, Mixcloud.com/DJ X3C.
I got going is
On
hitting.
Facebook,
I gotta keep a grip
DJ
on my mission.
X3C.
Okay, yeah, I'm plenty dope. Ring my line, boy, with the smoke. No, I ain't signed, but I'm in a scope. No, I ain't blind, but I'm finna go. Okay, I ain't got a minute to waste. I live like ain't no tomorrow today. I look like I got a lot on my plate, but I like how it tastes. Yeah, I like how it tastes every day. It's every day we with it. I can do this every day. It's every day the business. I can do this every day. It's every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. It's every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. What did you think this was? It look like you ain't believing, cuz. It look like you ain't believing, bruh. Let me open your eyes so you see it, huh? I was taught to attack to the finish line. I used to save up for finish line. I used to wait for my shot to come. Now I take it and scrape it like dinner time. No, I ain't waiting on nobody. Got them all on my way like a boat party. If I make up my mind to do it, I'ma do it relentless. I get to my goal, shorty. You ain't riding, I'm kicking you out with no hesitation. I treat the hustle like reparations. Been had it coming, I'm chasing greatness. Bitch, I'm the one and you gotta face it. It's every day we with it. I can do this every day. It's every day the business. I can do this every day. It's every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. It's every day, every day, every day, every day, every day.
Welcome everybody in the chat room. Click that like, that share, and that subscribe button as people start coming in the room. Everyone that's joining in the different chat rooms, again, please be sure to click that like, share, subscribe button because this is the dopest morning show in politics.
All right, y'all, this is going to be the last one for me.
But we'll get to that in
I
a
hope
second.
you had a good time today. I know I did. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 8:30.
Early weekend,
we'll be here.
You know, right where I'm a
Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Your DJ exclusive, y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for everything. Make sure you follow me at Mixcloud.com/DJ X3C. And hit me up on Venmo, Cash App, DJ X3C, PayPal, DJ exclusive at gmail.com. Love y'all, man.
Aggressive black men, political.
Thank you for rocking with me.
Savages, they ain't rocking with no elitists. They be stumping for the chronically oppressed and mistreated. Them folks who sat the table but ain't never been seated. Debates, they get heated like these niggas on some street shit. But they give it to us raw, the way we really need. Yes, indeed, it's the stuff we could never get enough of. No smoothing out the edges, my brothers. They keep it rough, cuz whiteness makes the rules and our people, well, they suffer. And just saying this is clickbaity to the white power structure.
Keep that fire, never be damned. Keep that smile and that style, that black style. Yes, the world might want to imitate, but can never in any way. That's what we're talking about.
That's it for your boy DJ Exclusive, y'all. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early. Holla.